I know you're in the sector of education. We'll talk briefly. As far as I'm aware, I've read the news in Wales. 2021, there won't be any GCSEs or A-level examinations. Now, if that is true, and if that is what is going to happen, I'm assuming the other nations perhaps might follow a similar footstep, if not fully.
Do you know what alternative they're pursuing?
That's they are looking into the classroom-based assessments. So as I'm assuming, as it was done this year. Now, if that is the case, I would like to know specifically the impact on Muslim community, in particular Muslim children, and obviously the impact the Muslim private schools that are there in place. What do you think would happen, and how good is this for our future generation?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is, it's an educational question, and this is more a question of pedagogy and so on. The debate, to be honest, the debate's out there. What form of assessment is the most effective? Whether exams are good or not, whether they're a genuine reflection of ability, etc. And we know that they're not 100% ideal, but nobody's come up with a better alternative. To be honest, the government has entertained alternative education systems, alternatives to GCSEs and A-levels in the past, and some schools have already implemented it. So there was the 14 to 19 strategy, which was going to bring in a more kind of baccalaureate style, European baccalaureate style system and so on. But that wasn't specifically targeting the whole question of assessment. I don't think anybody is going to be particularly disadvantaged as a result of it. I think there'll be enough time for people to adapt and so on. I suppose children who favor students who favor exams, they're good at it. They're able to perform under pressure and so on. They would be. They may feel, that their advantage over others has gone. Perhaps, wallahu alam, and I'm a little bit out of touch with education at the moment. Have not been actively in it for. At least in the mainstream space for a while now, but you could say that perhaps it will level out the playing field a little bit amongst students, because most people, in terms of classroom-based assessments and things like that, would perform like the competition would be a little bit more balanced. However, there is something to be said, wallahu alam, in my view, there's something to be said about memorization. And I do feel as though modern education has moved too far away from memorization-based learning and the kind of learning that results in, from a young age, kind of results in learning that is mustahdar, that is, like that enables quick recall, fast recall, and so on. Knowledge on the tips of your fingers. And I've often found when I teach children kind of in an Islamic context, perhaps, where, like, I personally favor a healthy degree of memorization and so on when I teach, I find that young people struggle with that. So I'm not arguing that should necessarily be an assessment strategy, but more that this is a skill that should not be ignored, and that students' ability to memorize should be something that should be sharpened and nurtured. And I often find that the varied forms of learning and teaching strategies that exist nowadays, I feel as though that it kind of ignores that a little bit and undermines that a little bit, and I would like to see a bit more balance. But specific to your question, I don't see anyone particularly being disadvantaged. People just have to, schools in particular, registered schools will be informed well in advance, and they'll be able to make the adjustments.